The Supreme Court of Nigeria has reserved judgment in a suit challenging the legality of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. Now, the 7-member panel of justices led by Justice Nwokedi Aji deferred judgment to a date that will be communicated to the parties after hearing arguments on Tuesday. Now, the case was initially brought by the Kogi State Government and later joined by 18 other states contesting the constitutionality of the EFCC's establishment. Well, joining me on the program at this time to discuss this is Joe Nwokedi. He is a legal practitioner. He joins me live in the studio. Thank you for your time, Joe.
Thank you so much. My pleasure.
I believe you saw, of course, during the lineup, our introduction. We played just a snippet of what transpired in court as regards all of this. Is there a case here?
Yeah, for attorney generals of 19 states to deem it fit and appropriate to proceed to court to challenge a matter, I believe within their convention, a cause of action has arisen. And where a cause of action has arisen, there is presumed to be a case. That's why they went to court. But they cannot assume on your own, decide whether it is a case or not, until when there is a pronouncement by the judiciary, by the judge, or by the panel of judges, like we have a Supreme Court appeal court, saying that it's a case or abuse of court process or mere waste of court of time of the court or frivolity. But within the conviction of the lawyers that brought it, they reasonably believe that they have a case.
All right.
And that's why they're in court. And the AG Federation, Leonard Sukese has also joined the suit, defending his own clients, believing there is a case. So for me, prima facie, there is a case. That's why they're in court.
Okay, so let's look at it from the angle of Kogi State and the 18 other states challenging the establishment of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. Now, they said that the commission is a product of a convention, United Nations Convention, and that aside that, in terms of its scope of operations, it sort of goes beyond what it's meant to be. I would like you to shed more light on this.
Yeah, that's where there's an issue. There's a burden of proof. There's an issue, a burden for them to prove. They are relying on the what we call the passing, remark, passing ratio, kind of something in passing. Do you understand my point? Made by a judge in the case of Mobike versus the Federation. It does not form, it was not a proper pronouncement of the court. Do you understand my point? It was not a proper pronouncement of court that EFCC is a creation of treaty, United Nations Anti-Corruption Treaty. Now, that is where they base the whole of their arguments. That for the fact it is creation of a treaty, that section 12 sub 3, you have section 12 sub 1, you have section 12.2, and you have section 12.3. Section 12.1 gives unilateral power to National Assembly to make laws for the good of the people of Nigeria, all over the whole Federation. For the good of the people of Nigeria, all over the whole Federation. Then section 12.2 stated that in making that law, if it is not within exclusive legislative list, where they have the powers to make laws without any contribution from the states, where they have concurrent lists and residual lists. But if in making that law, it is not within that exclusive list and has to do with treaties, that they can make such laws. But then section 12 sub 3 now said, referring to section 12 sub 2, that in making such laws that has to do with treaties, that the States Assembly, majority, the Constitution did not state the number, whether 20 or 30 or 15 or 10, say majority of the States of Assembly must have passed such laws into, such bills into laws, thus domesticating it in their own states. So the argument now is whether EFCC is actually a product of United Nations Anti-Corruption Convention, where section 12.2 will now apply, and sub 3 that now involves states assembly to get that law passed by their own state assemblies will also apply. If that argument flies, then the EFCC was not duly created, because state South Assembly did not pass it into law. But if it doesn't fly, if the National Assembly acted solely on provisions of Section 12(1) that gave them the powers without including any other person to make laws for the good of the people of Nigeria, all over the whole federation, then there will be no breach. So the counsel to the federal government, Attorney General of the Federation, Fagbemi, is now saying that EFCC was not a creation of a treaty. That was naturally a creation of Nigerian government or Nigerian executive through the National Assembly. So if he goes ahead to prove that, then that means there should be no contribution from the states, houses of assembly. But if it says the attorney generals of the states on their own side are able to prove that, look, it was subsection 2, there was a treaty, that indeed there was a treaty through which EFCC was created, then subsection 12(3) will not apply. That means they have to ratify it in their various states before it becomes enforceable and applicable all over the federation.
Okay, but let's look at a scenario where maybe the creation of the EFCC, is faulted or is faulty. What implications are we looking at here?
If anything is faulty, it goes to the root of it, because there's a popular maxim in law that you cannot put nothing on something or something on nothing and expect it to stand. And once a statute or enactment or a law is void ab initio in law, it is void ad infinitum. What it means is that if, for instance, that the ownership of this phone is void, everything that you did with this phone is deemed void from the day one you bought this phone, because the title from where you got this phone has been declared null and void and of no effect. So everything that has to do with this phone is declared null and void and of no effect and cannot stand. So it simply means that all the cases... Yes, that was even where the Attorney General of the Federation is coming from now. But although it is a moral question, law has nothing to do with morals. The Attorney General of the Federation, SA and Fagbemi, is also saying that that means all the judgments, all the everything that EFCC has done since creation will be annulled. It will throw the nation into chaos, into serious quagmire. Now, it was part of when he was addressing the Supreme Court, Honorable Supreme Court Justice, these are the appeals he was making. That the other countries of the world might see Nigeria as not serious about fight against corruption. But for lawyers, we don't so much give attachment to those sentiments. What we look at is what is the law. What does the law say? Was it complied with? Stricto sensu, in the strict sense of it. If the law is not fully complied with, the same material, whether it will cause a problem or cause chaos or cause any havoc, the most important thing is that let law be implemented to the letters. So that's the problem NIS is facing. But the only place the lawyers on the other side, because I'm not supporting any side, I'm here to bear my own views and opinion. The only place the attorney generals of the states have a challenge is to go further to prove to the Supreme Court justices that actually EFCC was a creation of a treaty. They are relying on the word in passing made by a judge in the case of Dr. Joseph Nwokedi versus AG of the Federation. But is that a law? Was that read as a judgment? It was opinion of a judge. It was not what was brought before that judge. So when a judge passes a comment while delivering a judgment, that doesn't make it a law, because that was not what was before that judge. So judge did not make a pronouncement on whether EFCC was a creation of a treaty or not. But while giving a judgment in passing, judge now said EFCC is like a creation of a treaty. And then the attorney generals are relying on that statement without further conducting a kind of a research to prove whether indeed it was a creation of international treaty.
I mean, for many Nigerians, they would ask, why now? Why is it that when...
And why from Kogi?
Yes, and why Kogi State? Why is it when the former governor has a case,
right from
with the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, they are now trying to, look at, if at all, it's the creation of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, its creation, is legal. So why now? I mean, it's something fishy going on there.
There is no time it is late to bring a matter up before a court. Whether you are sentimentally attached to it, whether it has to do with a bias, whether it has to do with emotional disposition.
But this feels like more of a political undertone.
Even if it is, it doesn't stop the law from being, overhauled and the law from being looked into. Yes, just like procuring evidence, law doesn't care about how you got it. What the court looks at is the relevance of that exhibit evidence before the court. Whether it was from your enemy, you broke into the wall, you search somebody, stop somebody's car, you stop somebody, beat somebody up, and extracted evidence that are relevant in issue before the court. Court will admit it. Court doesn't care how you got it. So that is also the issue of bringing a matter before a court. Might be brought out of malice, might be brought out of, except if that matter lacks merit. If it has no substance, if it's abuse of court process, do you understand my point? Now, then court will now lambast you for wasting the time of the court, bringing a frivolous matter before the court, lap them with frivolities and mischief and malice, and then they'll fine you. But if a matter that has merit, whether it was brought out of malice or mischief, court looks at the substance before the court. Is there merit in this matter? When I saw it coming from Kogi State and with Yahya Bello and Ododo and EFCC, however, I laughed. But then court will look beyond that to look at what is presented before the court. The creation of EFCC, was it validly done? Was there a total compliance with the provisions of that section 12, 1, 2, 3, under which of the subsection the National Assembly derived its powers to establish EFCC, to establish 2002 and amended in 2004. Was it solely on section 12.1? Did they go into section 12.2, treaties, exclusive list and treaty? And if answer is in the affirmative, then 2-3 will come up. Majority of states of assembly will have passed that law in their places.
Let's move away from the legal crossfire. Let's look at the EFCC itself and its operations over the years. How would you look rate it, particularly from a legal perspective? We've seen people come out to say that their modus operandi sometimes goes beyond the boundaries of their creation or even the law. We've seen cases where raids have been conducted at very ungodly hours and people picked up, even when they try to challenge the entire process. So I would like you to speak on this. Over the years, from your own observation, how would you rate the modus operandi of this agency?
EFCC is a necessary evil. It is a necessary evil. Yes, they are my friends. I have so many of them. I go to the offices, but in Lagos, Awolowo, and Abuja. They know me very well. They even see me and say, Joe, we saw what you are saying about us. It is a necessary evil. In the sense that if you say, let me throw it away, you are throwing away something very, very useful and very important to the site in terms of combating crimes and having detailed investigation, and then being very, very thorough and very tough in the courts. When you engage them in the courts, their lawyers are very, very thorough. They are very, very stubborn too. Do you understand my point now? Yes. And then on the other, their mode of operation in terms of arresting suspects is what I don't like. They don't go about it in a civilized way. And the other side that I don't like, which I also used to tell them in court, is that when they hold on to someone and they have a quantum of evidence to show that that person is innocent of that issue, they keep on digging and digging and digging and digging to find a way to, to criminalize you. How they go to your phone and say, who made this call? But no, you're not the one they're looking for. They've seen your phone, there's something there, they'll go to bank account, they'll go to calls you made.
So
they try to find a way.
It feels personal.
Yes, they find a way to incriminate you. Even when they know that, look, this man is not the person we came for. We wrongly arrested him or we have brought him in here. So they'll try by all means to make sure they find a way to get you guilty. Rope you in. I said, why? We have cases like that. I said, look, you know that this matter is not what, this man is not part of this. Why are you so much struggling so much to incriminate somebody that is almost innocent, which you know that is innocent? They find it so difficult to let go. They find it difficult to say that, okay, we are wrong. They find it difficult to say, okay, you didn't do anything, go. And then again, if they now find out that that person did not do that, and they have actually made a mistake in the way they arrested. And I said, come and do plea bargain. And I plea bargain, some people will rush into it, say you are doing this, you are taking 5 months. And especially, I'm saying it, especially when they have arrested a car. When a car is part of what they are arrested in, they are ready.
That's the person's car?
Yes, person's car. Whether wrongly or whatever. To get that car back to you will be a problem.
Why is that?
They will go to your bank account, go to the place there you are born, go to the school you attended, go to businesses you do, go to the transactions on your phone, go to even food you collected from your brother, money you sent out, money that people sent from abroad. They must look for everything to indict you so that you forfeit that car. You forfeit the car. They hardly release a car.
They hardly release a car.
They are arrested in their arrests.
So what happens to that car eventually?
There because they will tell you the only way to get out, so go and do plea bargain. When you not do plea bargain, you forfeit the car and forfeit whatever laptop or whatever. Come to court and tell the court you have forfeited everything, accepting. Court will not give you either to sweep courtrooms or stay in 6 months probation or whatever and go. The poor young boy that's already stranded and kind of helpless will accept all those things, and his car will go.
I mean, this feels like corruption.
And his car will go.
This feels like corruption.
Told them, when you arrest people with their leave their cars for them. Police, you come to police will release your car. If they know, okay, apply, they release a car for you. But EFCC hardly releases somebody's car. They raided, and they raided the person, even wrongly, raided the whole place and picked all the cars there, carry all the cars, put everything. They will keep on finding a way. And I don't like that. But aside that, they are doing a very thorough job. They investigate very well. They do thorough jobs. They investigate. But the only part of investigation I don't like is not letting go. So it's not every arrest you made that you must find everybody there guilty. They can come here and pack all of us now and make sure they find a way to incriminate all of us for the fact they have arrested all of us. It is wrong. So let those that have seen something incriminate and let others go.
So it feels like they sometimes don't do enough due diligence, and then so as not to lose out, they find a way to just keep you on the case.
Because you don't have they always raid. You know, raiding is different from getting like, okay, coming to pick you up. You know, police people will invite you to come to their station. Somebody made a report against you. EFCC may suspect that this place is being used for Yahoo and whatever. They'll come here and raid everybody here. Pick everything they see here. So maybe a friend that visited a Yahoo guy, that has nothing to do with Yahoo, will be a victim. A family member that came there is a friend, a classmate that was, that used to hang around, and neighbor that came to like greet them, that's also working on his laptop or whatever, working in a company, all those things. For instances of that, will also be a victim. Then I start checking all those laptops. Who paid this money? Who sent this money to you? Who, I know they'll seize your phone, they'll seize your laptops. Who sent money from you from abroad? What is that person doing? I know all those things. And look, I don't know these people. I just came there. Maybe I was charging my phone or doing my laptop, or they're my friends. You can be a friend of a Yahoo person or even a drug guy. Just one day I want to like see somebody say, "Why are you a friend of a drug person?" I said, "Do I know he's into drugs? How will I know he's a drug guy? Is it on his face? He moves around. He lives in neighborhood. We stay in pleasantly. We drink together. We move together. We visit friends. So whatever. Do you understand my point? I mean, likewise, you can be a friend of a Yahoo boy without knowing that. Because if you ask me what he's doing, he may not. He may say he's into real estate. He's into online marketing. He's into this and that. You will not know. By the time you are arrested together with him, then you must be forced to be a Yahoo person.
Now, could this be a situation where maybe their personnel are not properly trained in terms of civil relations, what the law says, or maybe corruption?
No, the point I'm seeing there is that, because of the nature of the powers they have and the name they have, they want to maintain that fear, to be like infallible status, that people will see them, they can never make mistakes. So whenever you hear them, like the way SARS was, and eventually SARS crashed, because they made people feel so dreaded. Whenever you hear SARS, people are coming for you. So whether you're a thief or not, you'll be like panicking, you'll be panting like SARS. So EFCC wanted to create an image of that nature. They won't say, EFCC is involved. You start running around, you start doing everything. There was a matter we had, and I told them, look, this man did not. So he took them and said, if you don't go, we'll file action against you. Some of them will take them to court. It might be like a civil matter. Somebody might say, but this is a civil matter. I can see invoices and everything. I can see transactions they did. I can see goods they bought. Why not allow it? Tell these people to go. I mean, you have investigated. You couldn't establish a file. Let them go. Why is it so hard for you to do that? It's like police, they do it. When they look at the matter, after listening to both parties and discover that, look, this is not the issue, I go. But
EFCC finds it hard to let go.
Yes, they find it so hard to let go. Even when it is manifest, that look, there is no case in this. Or the person that reported lied to you. They can keep on investigating. There was that they even said they wanted to say, okay, go and start from primary school. Go to secondary school, go to every place and investigate me. Am I afraid of investigation? Why will you tell me that before I come to a place as a lawyer, say if I talk and how you investigate me? I said, do you think I'm afraid of that? I know everything about my life right from my secondary school and my primary school. That's my point. So the point is that they are good, they are diligent, but these are the areas they need to work on to make them to become very civilized. And then this issue of reading. Before you read, get information properly. There was a matter we handled. They come there, they didn't see a person. They picked the products and everybody. Every other person they saw there. Started looking at everything.
Do they usually have like a warrant or, I mean,
they might
a court order of some sort?
I don't know how they come out. They might just get a search warrant that they used to come and search the whole place. And anybody they see there will be like, involved in the search. So I'm not saying that if you have somebody, get your targets. Get image of your targets. Strike your targets. If you want to get your whole boys, even if they're in a group, get their information one by one. If people come, like police may come and raid people, and the way police people behave. If there is a fight, police come and pack everybody in the street. But one by one, they'll be releasing you. So you come and make a statement. I work with New Central, this my ID card, this, and I say, find us 5,000. Find out, I go. You're not the person we are looking for. They will release all the people not connected to that crime. Okay. In fact, they might even release everybody. And so what they did,
I think it's called investigation by elimination.
Yes,
I'm not sure if
so police might even release all of you. If they discover that they couldn't arrest the rape that were connected to that crime, they release all of you. But in their normal nature, you bail yourself with one or two things. But they release all of you. They will not even go beyond to like start asking you where that place you are working now, start checking you all those things. They don't do that because they know this is not what we are doing. The EFCC will begin to look into every one of you. Check your phone, check your costs, check money that entered your account, check people that sent money from abroad, what they're doing, check all the inflow in your account, where that money was paid for, check what the people that paid that money, what they were doing. They begin to do those things. That's not my point.
Yeah.
In the course of that, they might get something, but in the course of that, when they fail to get something, let people go and release their cars. My only annoyance is release their cars. Release their cars. So many young boys are like having their cars packed. Release their cars. So, but if you see those that you know, and then don't intimidate them to go into plea bargain.
Intimidating people to go into
plea bargain are prisoners. They are ex-convicts. They cannot contest election again in their life. They are already ex-convicts. So they can no longer travel. If they go with them, they will see them as ex-prisoners. But they don't know what it is. They were just like, okay, they will give me 3 months, and give me 4 months, I forfeit this and be free. Just my point. When I see them boasting of how many cases they have, convictions they have, I say, how many of them did you get through proper trial? Is it not through plea bargain that I get more? So
many of those cases are through plea bargain and not proper trial.
Full trial and conviction by the court.
What's the leadership doing about this?
I don't know. Because I'm into litigation fully and I encountered them. But in terms of being taught, I always tell them, I have a matter, please, let us leave this matter. Stop holding on to it. You know quite well that this man was wrongly arrested. We are not going to sue you for wrongful arrest or whatever. Leave him, let him go and face his education. Not every student is a Yahoo guy. Not every young boy doing when a car laptop is a Yahoo person. Just my point now. So, but for other things, they are good. Like I'm saying, it's a necessary evil. If you get them out of the system, it will be dangerous. There are matters that they investigate very, very well. When you get people that actually committed the offense and you send them to EFCC, EFCC will thoroughly investigate them. They'll write to the agencies. They will even go beyond the knowledge you have with that person. Get all, where you register the company, shareholders, and everything about that person. So when they get a real criminal, they do a thorough job. So when they are going to court, you are very, very happy. You have every necessary material to go to court. My only appeal is that when they get somebody they know, they see, everybody is prone to making mistakes, committing errors. Just take it that you have arrested this one in error, let him go, and then go back and give him his car on his laptop.
Anyway, thank you so much for your time on the program today. Joe Nwokedi is a legal practitioner, and of course, joined me live on the program. Thank you once again.
For Supreme Court, we are waiting the ruling of the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
They have reserved for judgment, the full ruling for judgment. Let's see what happens.
All right, and hopefully we hope to have you again on the program.
By God's grace, I'll always come around if I'm disposed.
All right.